Welcome to the very first board banter.
Yes.
As it's going to be called, unless that's already copyrighted.
Well, yeah. Way Brothers, hi.
And Way Brothers is the channel.
Yeah.
I'm Nate.
But you know that. I'm Cody.
And this is our very first board banter. Today we're going to be talking about the Scythe factions.
C.
Minus Rise of Fenris, because we haven't actually played through Rise of Fenris all the way through yet.
We have Vesna, spoiler alert, but that we don't know anything about it yet. So, yeah.
But so we're doing, and we do have Invaders from Afar. So we have the 7 main factions, and we're going to be ranking those individually, and then saying what they came to as a total. So we'll rank them individually. Cody, you want to get us started on 7?
On number 7, what did I put? Where's my list?
This is your list right here.
I put flippin', how did you call it? Crimea?
Crimea.
I think it's Crimea. Anyway, Crimea. Because, we need the abilities. Let's look at this.
Okay.
Bear with me here. There it is, rightfully in last place. Coercion. Once per turn, you may spend 1 combat card as if it were any 1 resource token. That would be cool if you started off with any combat cards.
Fair point.
And that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, I will combat that later on in this video, but I'm going to tell you that my number 7 is Togawa. And I know you ranked Togawa a little higher. For me, it's ranked low because a couple of reasons. First of all, it's only good, in my opinion, in high player counts. And low player counts, this is terrible because you're setting these traps that if I'm on the other side of the board, I'm never...
Yeah, you're not going to hit.
I mean, I think you get to claim those spots, maybe, as territories.
I think you can move to them.
Yeah, maybe.
Your characters and mechs can move to spots with traps.
That and the character itself is really slow because if you look at the board, there's no double hex movement. You can only move 1 character once per turn across a river. So the character's very, very slow. Which, once again, in a 2-player game or 3-player game, not very good. In a 7-player game, 6-player game, that's fine because you're not going all over the map.
Yeah.
So this is definitely geared, and I mean, it came in the expansion, definitely geared towards that, in my opinion. And I think that's sad that it's so one-dimensional. That's why it's number 7 on my list. What's your number 6?
My number 6 is Nordic. Nordic is cool. It lets your workers swim across rivers. And that is nice. Like when you're starting out and you're trying to get across without trying to build a mech because you need the metal, that's nice because you can go wherever you want. But honestly, that's only useful for like the first turn. And then the rest of the game is just kind of useless because if you're going to move any workers, you're going to move them with a mech for the efficiency of that. So there's really no point having it any later in the game. I
100% agree. Nordic is also my number 6 for the same reason. It's a good thing for the first maybe few turns, the first couple, 2-3 times you take the move action, because you don't have to focus on the mech right away like everyone else does. But after that, see, all these other bonuses are good throughout the whole game. This bonus, everyone catches up to you and gets all their mechs, and now they can do the same thing you can do, basically. And like you said, I mean, you want to use the mechs to move your workers later in the game anyways, most of the time, 90% of the time.
Yeah, there's not much point otherwise.
So, unless you're going for the accomplishment to not build any mechs, then this would be a really good, this is like the only faction.
Okay.
That's the only faction you would want.
Yeah, that'll be another video. Clever ways.
Best faction for each
of those special goals.
But that's not this video.
Which we have done none of those.
5?
Yeah. My number 5 is Togawa. And I agree, like, for all the points you made, where'd Togawa go? There it is. It's kind of lame. The only reason it's number 5 is because I felt it was mildly more useful than Crimea and Nordic. That's about it.
Checks out. Yeah. I'm not going to argue too much because at least it's low on your list where it should be. My number 5 is Albion. And this is because, once again, it's a good way to get lots of territory.
Describe it.
Well, because so Albion. So my number 5 pick is Albion, and the Albion special bonus is that after moving your character, you may place a flag token on its territory, and now with those flag tokens, you can teleport. You can travel to them like tunnels, and they also count as territories that you own at the end of the game. That's nice, but as far as effectiveness compared to the other, So, just and you can only move across rivers to tunnels. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
kind of
okay.
unique.
Kind of mediocre. It doesn't have very good... It starts out with 3 power and 0 cards.
Mhm.
It's a very mediocre... It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's mediocre, in my opinion.
In a larger game of maybe like 5 to 7 players, that might make it interesting, where you're trying to go for area control, because that, it counts all of the territories that those tokens are on.
Yeah.
It counts them.
Yeah.
So, but
And that's your number 4. So do you have anything else?
again, I kind of just made it number 4 because it was slightly more useful than Togawa.
You're just going to say that for every...
No,
it was slightly more useful than the one before it. That's why it's higher.
Honestly, the first 3 were easy for me to put, and then the rest I kind of wrestled with.
So my number 4 is Saxon, which says there is no limit to the number of stars you can place from completing objectives and winning in combat. Now, this one I think is very interesting because it could make a very, very short game. If you have somebody who has this faction who can use it effectively,
Yeah, and
this can make for a very short game. You might get 6 stars and no one else is getting, might get 3 or 4.
Just by
so
combat.
I think it has potential to be good if you know how to use it well.
Yeah, it depends on what objectives you get, but objective cards.
Yeah, definitely.
But as well as
But then combat, you can
represented.
just focus on combat. So
I'll hold my tongue because I think that was my number 3. Yes,
your number 3 is Saxon.
Number 3, Saxon, because Scythe actually makes the point in the manual of how there really isn't that much combat that goes on. It's more of an intimidation factor, but Saxony really throws that out the window because they are all about combat. The only thing is you only start with 1 power, so if you're going to do more than 1 combat pretty quickly, you need to really build that up.
But that's fine because that's part of the strategy. You're just focusing on building that up.
Yeah. But at the same time, you can only, if you want to, you can only focus on 2 things and then get those done. Objectives and then the combats. So that is nice. I like Saxony. They have cool dogs. Wolves.
All right, my number 3 is Crimea. Cody is distressed right now. I put number 3 as
prove it.
Crimea.
Let's explain.
I think there is a lot of potential to this. Even more so than there was for Saxony. Once again, I think you have to know how to use it well.
Okay.
I think it's also very good in low player counts. Now I'll say why. So first of all, the bonus for this is that once per turn, you may spend 1 combat card as if it were 1 resource token.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice bonus. Like you pointed out, rightfully so. They don't start with any combat cards, but there are ways to get combat cards. If you make that a focal point of your strategy, there are easy ways to get cards if that's what you focus on. I think this has a lot of potential because, first of all, you start with 5 power. It says you can move from a territory or home base to any inactive faction's home base or your own. That's the second thing you get with a mech. You can be jumping all over the board with this thing. All over the place. Getting encounters, getting all sorts of territories, tons of territories.
That's true.
You could be jumping, your mechs will be teleporting all over the map, leaving workers to get all those territories.
And die.
But
okay.
I think there's a lot of potential in this. I'm not saying it is the greatest of all time because it's not. It's 3rd. But I think there's a lot of potential in Crimea, and someone out there backs me up.
It's not 3rd, but all right.
What's your number 2?
We agreed on the last 2. We'll just preface that because it's obvious.
And
if
obvious
you disagree,
who number 1 is.
Subscribe anyway.
If you disagree, you probably think Crimea is number 1 because you're a smart person.
Don't subscribe if you think no, it's fine. Number 2 is Polania. Polania, I love Polania. I kind of just hate Rusviet because usually Nate will play as that because somehow he gets lucky and draws them. But I'll take Polania anytime. Where'd Polania go? And a freaking bear. Look at that. That's awesome.
I'll take a tiger over a bear any day. There's a tiger on Rusviet.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, I'll take that yak or whatever the Nordic guy's got. That thing's awesome.
Buffalo. The swimming buffalo. No, Meander. Pick up to 2 options per encounter card. That is so nice. Really because if you're messing around and you're trying to dig up 3 to 4 metal to deploy a mech and then you just move across an encounter card. Yeah.
And you get something else.
Exactly.
It's like, well, I wasn't going to do that, but now I get to do that and this, So definitely nice. A great number 2.
Quite nice.
A very nice bonus. It has a bear.
And the mechs are the coolest.
I don't remember what they look like.
They're like
That'll also be a video.
Classic,
we'll rank the mechs.
Coolest looking mech figurines.
But we got to get Fenris. We got to finish Fenris before we do that.
Yes.
new
true.
mechs. All right. Number 1, obviously, Rusviet. The special ability for Rusviet is you may choose the same selection on your player mat as the previous turns or turns.
That's nice.
You can go on the same
really
spot
nice.
every single. You wouldn't want to do it every single time, but
you can.
If you think about it, the problem with so many of any of the other factions is that your entire strategy is formed around the fact that you can't go on the same spot twice.
You have to jump
and
back
so you
and
have
forth.
to your strategy becomes so convoluted.
Yeah.
Because you're like figuring out the order of how you want to do things, and like you think you got it planned out right, and now I'm gonna go here, and oh wait, no, I'm one resource short.
And oftentimes your strategy in a multiplayer game is, someone can't repeat the same option, and so you're gonna basically use that to
Terrorize.
Offset your moves
Yeah.
In light of that. But yeah,
You cannot.
Rusviet
In
throws that
fact,
out
even the
window.
rule book agrees with us, because in the rule book it
Exactly.
states that this
Yeah.
this is overpowered.
Well, no, it's in one of the expansions,
Right,
It
because
says,
they're like, yeah, we realize this is overpowered. You
Yep.
can't use the factory cards as doubled or whatever. So they and you can't pair it with one of the other mats.
Yeah.
There's a specific mat you
I
can't
think
pair it with.
industrial. We're pretty sure.
So if you're arguing with us that this is not number 1, you're actually arguing with Stonemaier Games that
Yes.
it's not number 1.
And Stonemaier Games, they 100% support us, and they even let us put the box up there. No, we haven't talked to Stonemaier Games yet. We'll get on that.
We are not endorsed officially by
Yet.
Stonemaier Games, or unofficially, actually. So that is our number 1, our personal 7
ranks.
through 1
Yeah.
ranked. The master list is what they
Master list.
averaged out to is basically the same. Basically the same.
Similar,
Number-
except Crimea is
Yeah,
right.
so there's a tie. So this is our average between the two of us. So this
Yeah,
is the Way
yeah.
Brothers ranking, if you will.
the official Way Brothers rank.
Togawa and Nordic came in at number 6.
Tied.
They tied for number 6.
Yep.
Crimea at 5.
Crimea
Albion at 4.
Yep.
Saxon at 3.
Yeah.
And then Polania and of course Rusviet.
Naturally.
So tell us what you think in the comments about that.
Yes.
How you would rank them.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching a Way Brothers video.
Yep.
Way, of course, standing for.
Whales are everywhere.
Yep. So thanks for watching. Go watch some of our other videos. We got challenge videos. We got how to plays. We got
Enjoy
extended
our
reviews.
board game soundtrack playlist.
Yes.
Patented.
Yep,
by
check those
Way
out.
Brothers.
We have a Scythe one.
Yep.
So go listen to that while you're playing Scythe. It's got like 70 tracks on it. It's insane.
Indeed.
Our dedication should be blowing your mind right now.
I made that one.
We've got Should I Buy's real short reviews. So just go check out our
Or
channel.
Sibs if you want.
Nope. Give us a subscribe and just keep watching vids. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we'll be around.